Welcome to Mick and Ori's Classic Cars. I'm Mick.
And I'm Ori.
And we've got Joe with us. Joe, have a look what we've got here.
Joe, one of my favourite Porsches of all time, Joe's got the 930 Turbo.
Immaculate. He's had it for, say, 10 years or so. And he drives it, which is great.
But, hey, Mick, not in Ferrari red, Porsche red.
Porsche red. Gotta be going. And if we walk through, what else have we got? Have a look at this. Don't worry about the 456, we've seen that one before. But we've got the beloved 360.
What year, Joe? Is it 360?
04.
04,
one of the late ones, one of the late 360s.
Yeah, the last ones.
And look at this.
GT3
For
RS.
the 930s brother, big brother.
How nice is that?
Hey, this is immaculate, isn't it?
So what we've got is all red cars, Ferrari red, Porsche red, and then we've got the faded red, which is called Porsche orange.
So he bought it to Total Tasmania.
The Challenge today, mirror option. We've got the Challenge option on there. This is an F1, mine's manual, go to shift, but it's got the Challenge grille at the back. Absolutely beautiful.
Now, boys, I know you're at my house, so we've got to go and have a cafe, yeah?
Coffee, I want to go for a drive.
Mick,
I've had too many coffees.
It's rude if we don't accept the coffee in a man's.
We have to have a coffee. Let's
is
go,
going
we've got to have a
on
coffee,
coffee
we've got to have a
time.
coffee.
Mick and Ori, hey, and you got to meet me.
You got to remember, if
This
the
is
car's
the
not a
original.
classic.
Hey, wait a minute.
Oh, sorry.
This is the original Mick and Ori. This is Uncle Mick. I'll be Uncle Ori.
And
Oh,
remember,
now,
if your car's not a classic,
it will be one day.
There's the motto.
But
I'll cherish
He's
it.
already got the classic.
that's right. What we're going to do, we're going to go for a bit of a drive. I'm not sure where yet, Joe. We'll go for a bit of a drive. Hopefully I'll get to drive. And then we'll go and do the podcast, eh?
And then we'll do the podcast and review what it means to own a classic Porsche 930 Turbo.
First
Cars, seating them.
Let you guys go.
All right. I didn't bring my Porsche jumper. Hey,
Oh, yeah, no worries.
this is perfect. Hey, let me tell you. So backseat rating out of 10.
Plenty of room.
I'm going to say 2 because it's got 2 seats, and that's about it. Let me tell you. Yeah, I don't think she was built. It was built for a small family, a small German family, I'd say. The Hoofenhauses.
I'm very comfortable.
Hey, no, let me tell you.
Oh, gears are beautiful, cold even. Hey?
So what is it?
Plenty of room.
The Synchro, the first Synchro.
Is it only a 4-speed?
It's only a 4-speed. Yeah.
Right, do you feel like you need the 5th gear though, Joe, when it's topping out?
Nah, because it's. You probably in first you'll get up to about 130 maybe.
Fuck, man. Hey, this is smooth.
So the only thing that's not original in this car then, Joe, is that radio, obviously.
That's the only thing I've got to find a radio.
Aftermarket, you've got to
Yeah,
find the original.
But did the radio come factory fitted, or were they factory fitted, or was it a
I think
dealer
I
fitted?
think they were factory fitted, but I haven't. This one here was an aftermarket. I just left it. I hunted around for one for a while. I couldn't find one.
Let me tell you, how neat, Joe, is this, the roof line? It's immaculate. Hey? Did you redo this?
I redid this.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah. The thing about the 930 is you have to learn how to drive one properly, and that's why they were nicknamed the Widowmaker, because of the turbo lag. But down low, they really don't have the power at takeoff. They're really a track car. In order for them to perform, they have to have the revs up all the time. So once the revs are going in these things, they're just unstoppable.
And the
they're a
turbo
powerhouse.
cuts in.
When did the turbo cut in?
What sort of revs did the turbo cut in? About
turbo
4?
starts coming. Nah, about 3 it'll start cutting in. Yeah.
So this is sorry, I didn't get, was it the 3 litre or the
3.3.
3.3?
So, okay, how many versions is it? 3 litre, 3.2, 3.3, Joe?
Oh, they start. In the 930.
Yeah.
In this sort of series, there was a 3 litre, 3.3. Yeah.
Okay. Tell you, once you get your neck in the right position in the back seat, let me tell you, she's a very, very comfortable ride. Forget about the headbutting and the concussion that may come after the drive, but let me tell you, there's not a lot of, there's no fuss to it. It's just simple. That's it. The gearbox, the dash, there's
back
nothing.
seats.
You know what I'm saying? It's very simple, raw.
That's why I got it. I drive it to the track. I drive it home.
Yeah.
And I can take it there as many times as I want, and generally you're not going to have any problems.
Yeah.
But you know, look at the level of importance of the years, 70s and 80s, right? Late 70s though, the classic cars. The importance of the cigarette lighter is just as important as the hazard lights. Look how big the button is. Right? That's the cigarette lighter, the first one.
You know, the youngsters these days see that and they say, what's that for?
What's it for? It's a cigarette lighter, mate.
Well, the Dino 77 and also the other ones like the Alpha or whatever have your cigarette in the lighter.
Oh, jeez.
And it lights it for you.
That's unbelievable.
Because you're too busy driving, so
Well,
you can't.
and that's it. And back then they were real men, mate. So they'd have,
That's it, exactly
they'd have a
right.
cigarette out of their mouth while they're going around the track. You
Correct.
see, you know.
We talk about the turbo lag and when the turbo cuts in. So around the corner, if you're going too fast, you know, and the turbo's not, if you're going around the corner, you're not going fast enough, and you want to actually hammer it, the turbo cuts in, you really got to hold on.
Yeah, well that's, so when the turbo cuts, you'll see in a little while, when the turbo cuts in, it's like a tap. It just says, here you go, bang, it's all there, everything in one hit. It doesn't spool out or anything, it's just instant power. So going around a corner, that's what I was saying about the revs, keeping the revs up. The turbo's got to be, the turbo, in my opinion, has to be running in the background all the time, right? So when you go in the corner, there's no surprises. You know exactly how much power is coming into the corner, you know how to take that corner. Otherwise, if you're under revs and you floor it around a corner and it kicks in, that's why it's a nickname, the Widowmaker.
They go straight.
Because you can lose the arse end, and once you start losing the arse end,
There's no recovery.
So when you start losing the back end, you actually are supposed to actually keep your foot on the throttle.
Accelerator.
Otherwise, the pendulum effect comes in and
problem.
it starts swinging around.
Yeah. And I noticed that too. I was at Malala, and you know that the straight down there, it's got a bit of
banana bend.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a kink in it.
Yeah.
And I was coming through at full speed, and I went around that kink. And I just took my foot off the accelerator for 1 second and I put it back on.
Yeah.
And the car started doing that. I actually felt like I was going to lose control of the car. And that's exactly the problem, you know. I fell in love when I saw this thing.
They're old cassette holders. Look at that.
Have a look at that.
People don't even know what a cassette is. For
That's
you
right.
kids listening, a cassette used to have music on it.
Yeah, like a tape.
Like a tape. Exactly.
Well, it was a tape.
And
It
then
was
you
a tape.
wound it.
Wow.
You know, I've got to get in a couple of old tapes and put them in there just so that...
Subba and I have just stepped out of the most uncomfortable car I've ever seen. So if you buy a 930 Porsche Turbo, let me tell you, don't get in the back seat.
Hey, that is phenomenal. I've got to say, it drives like a new car. And it didn't have to go like this. This has got some go.
Hey, the
How many horsepower would it be? Actually, it's good. It's got to be over 300.
It's 300 horsepower.
Are you gone?
Laurie has been loving it in the back.
Let me tell
He's got
you.
very close with Subba.
This is everything I thought a drive in a Porsche
look
would
at
be.
him.
Let's get a look at that.
Hey, you seriously, here, straighten up, yeah. Well, boys, we've just come back from the drive. How good was that?
Well, my neck is slowly fixing itself. It should be back soon. But Mick, are you converted?
I've got to say, driving the 930, I'm actually a Porsche fan.
There it is.
But
you
it
go.
has to be the 930, I think. It can't be a 911T.
You heard it first.
or
Mick
E
is
or
now a
whatever it
Porsche
is.
fan. Joe,
I'm
thank
happy.
you very much.
I'm happy that we converted this bloke over to Porsches.
It is good.
I have to say that I never heard so much whinging in the back seat of the car. But apart from that, mate, it was a pleasure driving.
Nah, Joe,
And
thank you, mate.
Thanks, man.
Drive was
It was
fantastic.
awesome.
Well done, Joe.
Thank
And
you, mate.
remember,
If your car's not a classic,
it will be one day. Joe's letting me drive this one out of the garage. Now, if I do, if I do go right, it's because of the neck.